will declare personally non-pecuniary interest. At which point Kathy, as Vice Chair, will take over from me and I will leave the room. But as usual, we all declare non-pecuniary interest every councillor in the recreation club. Should that arise tonight,
We've got one.
and you've got, so when it comes to that, then declare that.
Yeah, we've got the planning application as well for the
Number three, please.
yeah.
Alright. Which brings us straight on to agenda item number 3.
No, it's working. Don't touch any of them buttons.
So we have quite a lot of members of the public with us tonight. And it is your opportunity to put anything across that's not on the agenda that might stand outside of that. So this is your opportunity to raise any interests or anything that you want to bring to the council's awareness. So to the members of the public, is there anything that you would like to raise at this point that's not on the agenda? No? Right, I shall move on then. So I'm assuming everything is covered in there, that's fine. So, agenda item number 4, the minutes of the last meeting. The minutes having been circulated with everyone present, wish to account that they are true and correct record. If not, please signify now.
No, they're not.
Okay. Do you want to suggest the amendments?
The horse wash, it says Councillor Wildridge proposed hiring a skip for clearance of any imported debris. Well, I don't know what you mean by debris, and it was not Councillor Wildridge that proposed the skip, it was Kathy. And when Kathy said we'll get a skip, everybody actually said what?
Excuse me, Kathy can't propose that she was chairing the meeting.
But she did.
She didn't.
She did.
Simon Wildridge.
No, Simon never said the skip. And where's the rats come from? There was no mention of rats on the horse wash. Simon said, we don't want them slabs there because rats will get on them. I said, there's no rats at the horse wash. You said, we've got rats. I said, well, that's at your side. Now, I've asked people about the rats, is there any rats? And Martin, well, Beryl, said there's been no rats all summer. Has there been any rats? She said no. I've asked somebody else that passes there several times, and they actually like. She says, do you know what? There's not been a rat all summer, and they like to watch the rats being up the tunnel because that's where they're coming out. But she says, funny enough, we saw one a couple of days ago, and Beryl said the same. Now,
what has this got to do with
Okay.
raising stones out the box?
Because you've got rats on there. The rats.
Nothing to do with it.
The rats were not mentioned.
Well, no, that's why it's nothing to do with it. I don't know why you're mentioning it.
But it's on the minutes.
We were talking
So you
about
agree then?
The rats were mentioned, because I said about taking the slabs out because they were feed stations for the rats. That's
And I said there was no rats.
we had a rat 2 days ago.
Yeah. Somebody else seen a rat 2 days ago.
There are rats.
One rat.
One rat.
So for the
No, it
accuracy,
isn't in water.
Wait a minute.
One in the water.
What is your point? You're either...
Well,
you've changed
that's
the
not
minutes.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is correct.
so for
according
the
to the
accuracy of the minutes,
Yeah.
Councillor Wildridge, did you propose that we hide a skip for the clearance of any imported debris?
I propose we remove the debris from me, and if we needed a skip, I said it was too expensive for a skip. It's
No, you didn't.
It can be removed.
Kathy said we'll get a
And
skip.
then,
Yes, you did.
So
But I've got you lot against me anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
Against
that's
anybody.
not happened.
against anybody at all.
I mean, why do you think I'm recording now?
You said some of the slabs belong to you, so if they belong to you, you can remove them.
Why do you want to remove them?
Because the feed stations for
No,
rats.
they're not.
Excuse me, Yvonne. You sent a WhatsApp round saying that if we could prove that the horse was owned by the council, you would remove your own slabs.
No,
We've got proof. We've got the
right,
proof.
well, I'd like to see
And you
that.
put that on
No.
WhatsApp.
I
And
also
you said you
said,
right, councillors, we will get to that when it comes to that
Right.
stage of the meeting. For now, Simon, did you propose that we hide a skip for clearance of any imported debris?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Right, so that one stands then. So, what was the next part of it that you contested?
there has been reports of rats on the horse wash. No, you never mentioned the horse wash.
There have been reports of...
Right, where are the reports? Have you had any, Alex?
We I have seen an email, but I believe it may have been received after the meeting. I
Yeah,
could be
well,
wrong on
yeah,
that. I could be wrong,
probably.
I've seen it. Was that?
Yes, it didn't come in time for the agenda.
Yes, I think it came, yes, so it's come after the last meeting, so I have seen something.
Yeah, so it wasn't mentioned on this, so it
Of
should
course,
have been on
because
this.
I wasn't here at last meeting.
Yeah, I know you wasn't.
Yeah, it was mentioned.
Not on the horse wash.
It stands. But
No, it was not mentioned.
Well, we put it to the vote. The people that were here last month, is that a true record of this discussion that we had last month?
That's why it was all brought up in the first place, was due to rats. Now, whether there was any reports of rats, I have no idea, but it was brought up at the meeting because of rats.
No, it wasn't.
Last year, it was full of rats. That's why I
Yeah, and the
proposed
rats
that we
have gone.
remove the slabs.
Yeah, but they'll come back
Because
again.
that's
That's
where
how
they-
Oh,
they'll
God.
come back.
So can I just clarify that at that discussion, there was a discussion of rats, but it wasn't at the horse wash.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
So,
it was at the whole.
It was at all.
It was
So
at
that
the
wasn't
whole.
at the
That is where the slabs are, which I propose we remove, because they're just like feed stations for rats, and if children are playing in the pond, they're going to climb onto these slabs, which are dry land.
So what about the corner piece then?
What about it?
Well, if the
That
size
was
of
brought
the
up at a
station,
separate meeting, and
corner
that was
piece
built,
out.
that was built for you,
So-
because that's what you
Yeah.
want.
so can I just clarify then? So, the one of you saying there wasn't a discussion of rats at the horse wash. What, is it just for accuracy that it was not discussed?
yeah, rats were mentioned
But we've got.
because Simon said the rats, he didn't set a speed station, but he said the rats can get on the slabs.
He did say
And I
there were
said
feed
there's no
stations.
rats.
He said there
And
were
isn't
feed
it funny that a letter's come after the last meeting?
What, you're saying they've got somebody
But
to
what-
write to the council?
You said, yeah, you said, you
Yeah.
said
I
you've
said,
got rats. What?
What?
You think that bothered?
Eh?
You're really serious? We're
So
getting
what?
people to write fictitious letters.
Right, councillors, we are still on, councillors, we are still on accuracy of minutes. So, it is being proposed that we was not discussing the rats in the horse wash, and it's being proposed by other councillors that we were. I was not present, I have no idea. So the people present was Councillor Bupton, Councillor Milan, Councillor Sharp, Councillor Tagg, Councillor Tate, and Councillor Wildridge.
So it's just listen to that.
It says there's been reports of rats on the horse wash.
So-
Now
so
you
what-
got that letter after the meeting, so where is the reports of the horse wash, rats on the horse wash, before that meeting?
I don't know, it may
No.
be ephemeral, it
So-
may be a fleeting thing that we received.
Well,
I think you're a bit confused here. You needed to raise that at the last meeting. If you had done, that would have been in the minutes.
Because it wasn't
This is about-
mentioned.
It was mentioned. This is about the accuracy
Yeah,
of the minutes.
it
of
was
last
not
month.
mentioned that you've had reports of rats on the horse wash.
This is your opinion,
It was.
but our opinion is
So-
that it was.
Where has it been mentioned?
Probably get
Can we
to
move
the-
on?
Mentioned at the last meeting.
Can we move on?
So you're saying it's a matter of opinion then, really?
No, this is about.
Well, that's what it sounds like to me.
No, we've got 4
It's
people
about
saying that
what-
it was
If you're
mentioned.
saying there's been reports
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the horse wash,
So she's got one opinion, you've got another. That's all I'm saying.
It's democracy.
You know, democracy. Where is democracy? I can't see any.
Okay, please.
I can't see any.
Excuse me, members of the public have a chance to open forum. So, councillors,
Oh, tell me.
that were present at the last meeting, by a show of hands.
We're not allowed to speak.
Accuracy, please.
Well, you can speak if you want.
Could we have a show of hands for was the rats discussed at the horse wash last
Yeah,
month?
but that's why we're here.
In open forum unless you're
So that's fine.
invited.
For a show of hands for rats that was not discussed at the horse wash last month.
yeah, I know, Alex, it was a setup, but what happened again? 'Cause
It's
I'm
not a
looking at
setup,
it
no.
now.
The whole proposal was
Simon.
regarding rats.
Simon,
Yeah, sir,
why did you tell me to move all them slabs on that side of the mere?
The whole
because of
lot
rats?
was moving. I'm more
That was ages
concerned.
ago.
I'm more concerned about children in the mere
No.
than rat feces. The rats are going onto those stones and
There is
feeding.
no rats.
There is rats. I'm not saying.
sir, councillors, the minutes of the last meeting, that being questioned, are there any other minutes that are under question? Can I have a proposal that with that vote that the minutes are approved? Councillor Ryan proposed. I thought you voted.
Can you put it in the next minutes, please, that I said they were not right? Thank you.
Which brings on to agenda item number 5, matters arising. No, sorry. I'm talking about matters arising.
Alex, that's another thing. Why is it called debris? Why have you called all them slabs and everything debris? That's not a correct. It's not debris. I mean, the council paid for some of them rocks. Richard put some in on behalf of the council. I only put them slabs that's in the middle. The council paid for the rocks, and I made that lovely rockery that the ducklings use all the time.
Okay. The words that we use now will probably pay a bit more close attention to before it comes to approve it, so we can try and change it before it comes to
Yeah, well, it's not debris.
Okay. Next time when it gets circulated.
Well, that's confusing to people reading that, isn't it? Debris. So they're
Essentially,
thinking,
yes.
oh, they're taking the rocks or whatever off the bottom.
Okay. So if there's nothing to report on the matters rising,
Yes, there
is there? Sorry.
Speeding, that's,
Where is this? In the script.
yeah, it's from the matter around,
Yeah,
it starts in
that's- Yeah, there is matters. So under matters rising, we have communications from traffic management at East Riding of Yorkshire Council. Gavin, who I'm not sure. Thank you for inquiry dated the 9th of August regarding reduced speed limit on High Street in Nafferton to 20 miles per hour. East Riding of Yorkshire Council allocates speed limits in line with the directions and guidance from central government. These decisions are based on many factors, including the type of road, engineering, geometry, safety history, and other issues such as how it's being built up in the area and the presence of street lighting. This is to ensure that the speed limit is easily recognised in correspondence with similar roads nationwide. So essentially, to cut a lot of research out, we must prioritise the allocation of funding to schemes that have proven record of injury and collisions. We have reviewed the available collision data at the High Street, which shows that there have been no reported injury collision reported on High Street in the last 3-year period, and this is considered an excellent safety record. Given this road safety record and the traffic volume, we would not consider a reduction in the speed limit. So I'm assuming last month it was proposed to change the speed limit to on the High Street to 20 miles an hour, which come like that.
I think that the natural aspects of that street as well, with the traffic, it's very rare that you can do a lot of things on the High Street anyway.
I can see the thought of using it, and personally, I agree with it.
It's not possible anyway.
Well, I think people will try, won't they? It's a target, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
is that what? No.
No.
Okay, which brings us on to the mayor. So I shall hand over to the mayor reps, which we have Councillor Milan. No, it's just you now, isn't it? You're not on it now, are you? Are you on it?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's me. And Councillor Sharp. Tell us to turn off.
I put a board in on Friday, it's come up a little bit, not a lot. And I've also started clearing the post there, post it and that area there. Well, I really am taking to crap off it. It's,
Parish Gate, number 5.
yeah, that area where we took out last week. There's a bush on there, I think I might take it to the ground. There's nothing big on it, it's just small stuff where it's half dead.
No, I'm not left up to it.
the only bit that's allowed is the front bit that ends up with one, so that. If you think, if somebody else wants to have a look and think it's a wise decision to take it down to the ground, I'll take it down.
I don't know, any thoughts, councillors, on that, horticultural issue on the viewing platform, at the viewing platform?
Yeah. Just take it down.
No.
It lives, because it is half dead, I've noticed it's half dead.
Okay, any other comments? No? So if everyone, is everyone on the council happy still to take that one up then? Yeah?
Yeah.
No objections? Okay.
And the flat prices for the gate is considerably reduced now. These, SA said they can do it for £11.50. So that's way less than.
Can I see the plans for the gate, please?
We all get to see the plans, we all go.
Yeah, what I want to see is where that make sure that the ducks can get through.
Yeah, do we
Already
have
made
any plans?
There's what's happening.
Do we have any plans?
No, because until he got the number, he's not going to go to making plans, but it'll just be a simple drawing. But it won't be hinged off the pillar. So the pillar's not strong enough. It's because a 3.5 metre gate has got so much cantilever force over time it would have got.
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be hooked at each side and lifted off.
Oh, okay.
So as not to put any stress on anything.
I think we're going to have to take advice from him on the gaps between the spindles, if you like.
Well, the spindles will be the same as the railings, so that they all look as overmatched. So it'll look like it's railings right along. And then on the bottom edge, there'll be some spindles missing, which will give a double gap. So that I think the 4-inch gaps at the moment, so they'll end up with some 8-inch gaps in about 3 places.
Okay, that's design.
Well, it'll be
I
the
think
same
that's
it'll be the
okay,
same as
but
the
what I'm
blue.
worried about is the bar that goes across. If it's too low, it'll stop the ducks getting through.
But the height changes with the water.
Pardon?
That height changes with the water level. doesn't it?
Yes, I know, that's what I mean. There's a certain height when we put that gate up that it needs to be. The bar goes across.
So how high does it need to be?
Pardon? I put a mark on the wall actually.
Yeah, but I'm not getting in the water, so how
Eh?
how
You're not
high-
getting in the water, are you?
How high does it need to be?
I don't know, I put a mark on the wall when we took the gate
We can
down.
have that discussion when we
Yeah,
get
well,
the
let's
design.
see
Well,
the
as long as
see
you
the
discuss
design.
it, that's fine.
We discuss everything.
No, you don't.
Can I just ask about that gate, is there going to be ways to lock that in place? Because if it just lifts off, you can have somebody take
Yeah,
it.
we're going to have to put something that either a
I
bolt.
know it has some sort of padlocks
All
on
you,
it.
all you
It
need
only
is
needs
just a couple
one.
of those, split pins in, bend them back, pull them out when you need, pair of pliers, pull them out, pin it,
Mine
put
bolts
some
that
new ones
way.
in.
Yeah, I think we probably have a bolt with maybe a nail on it or something. It only needs on one hook, so it can't be removed really, because it can't be lifted.
No, yeah, it's just yeah.
As long as it can't be split.
Just because we've got a lot of scrap going around here.
I thought about it.
Well, I think it's stopping people from getting into them. I know, again, it's been a while since I've been here, but I think there has been 2 instances since I have been here, of people getting in there.
Kids were over
It
there
was last week, and then there was
Yeah.
one, a lady not one at Open Water a few months ago.
Yeah.
So it's preventing people from
So
accessing.
it'll look like the original railings, it's going to be galvanised and then powder coated black.
Great. As long as it takes in design consideration, takes in everything. that
You
you're
know,
all-
there's a price of 11.50, but it said the price of metal is a bit volatile at the moment,
Yeah.
so it could be slightly higher or lower.
Brilliant.
Then it'll give us an exact price. when I give it.
Is it going to do a few designs, or is it just going to that?
Well, I told him that we wanted to snatch the railings, so
Right.
it's, I mean, did you want it looking different than the railings?
No, just whereas anything else going to make me
I mean, it's
feel
going to be made of
Hey.
rolled same railings, and
Okay.
it can't really look much different.
Well, if we get a rough drawing then, and then we can all have a look at it. Talk
We need
about
the
it.
third quote,
Sorry.
we need a third one anyway before we make
Quote.
this decision.
I've got two.
Yeah, the big one's £2,400.
Okay, thank you for that, Paul and Phil. Councillor Tate isn't here tonight, so I will have to move on unless we've got anything else.
I've wrote to the water board,
Yeah.
because I figured that it's Yorkshire Water that's put all the sewerage over the years. So I kindly asked them, if they, you know, now the sewerage has stopped, that we'd like to get the mere back to its former glory or somewhere close. And, you know, I've just asked for help, basically. Well, I haven't got that back yet.
Okay.
And then I still got 3 other places. I can't send them all off at once, because if 2 or 3 come back and all say, yeah, you don't want to say, oh no, sorry, I don't reach out now, so one at a time. But I'm hoping we'll get some help towards
Thank you.
the mayor.
I was going to make a point about the ecology report particularly, and that should we be thinking of expanding this to get some sort of professional opinion on how to manage the waterway? Because none of us here are waterway experts.
No, that's why I've gone for the water board
I know,
first.
but I think there is more than just ecology here. There is actually how do you manage, how do you keep clean, how do you keep everything.
I think the intent of that was to highlight what we know that we don't know.
Yeah.
And the intent behind that was to find out what we just don't know.
Yeah. My
point
point.
raised about it was a bigger issue we need to expand it further.
But I was taking the example from the council who've got expert advice on a green expert on how to restore their green and how to manage it going forward.
Yeah.
And like I say, the ecology report's great, this is what the current state is, but there is nothing there saying, and this is what you should do going forward. This is how you should manage it, this is what, you know, sort of legislation and things you need to be looking out for, because none of us are experts.
I think that is a
I think
mistake.
when you look at that last ecology report that we got done, it suggestions of, you know, planting and other
But is
things.
it given yet? Well, I mean, I don't know, I've not seen the proposal, but the ecology report to me doesn't say this is a management plan from how to manage your waterway. And I was going to say we need it from respective.
If it doesn't, then we need to check the sewer. Essentially,
I think that's one they'd have some guidance as to what would make it better and things, you know.
But I think we need a bit more than just sort of guidance saying you should plan this, should plan this. There should be taking into account the current state, a management plan, so we can manage this properly for the benefit of all the animals and all the people around there.
Could you take that with the sewer then to make sure that whatever report that we're getting includes
It is an ecology report I've asked from the water board,
She's got one.
because they have people.
Sue has asked the water board, but she's had no luck with them. I'm sure they said that they couldn't.
Yeah, they said that.
What?
The water board, Sue has asked the water board, Yorkshire Water, and
Yeah,
I'm sure they said that they couldn't.
contact.
I'm sure, in fact, I'm 99% positive they've said no, they can't do it.
Right, well, I've contacted the CEO.
Oh, brilliant, well, hopefully that works then. Yeah.
So I've worded it the best I can, and I've explained that over the years how much sewerage has come in without saying this is your fault or whatever, and the water board has done the best they can, but every time they repaired it, or they thought they repaired it, it was still coming through, and it's been coming through since that last report went out.
Right.
So I've asked them if they could possibly help us do an ecology report and tell us what we need.
Fantastic. Hopefully
So that's what I've asked. I mean, if they do that, then I will ask for some funds as well, but...
Thank you. Councillor Owen?
Yes, thanks. If I may, Chair, I mean, for the benefit of people in the room, Councillor Jonathan Owen, one of you walked.
Do you want me to mute it?
Sorry?
Do you want me to mute it?
Do I want?
Do you want me to mute this at this?
No.
You're okay with that?
Happy
Okay.
to say what I was going to say. A few years ago, there was quite a big study done of all the ponds in the East Riding, and we had some sort of public meetings about what we can do. The council has a team that will advise on this, I think. So if the clerk wants to email myself, then I'll put them in touch, because there's loads of advice available about. You know,
I think that was one of my next points. I've already got that down for the council.
Do it that way round, see if we can help, because Yorkshire Water, they're only interested in a bit of pollution and bits, and so if you're pumping stuff into the drains on North Street and it comes down into the mere, they'll get involved, but it's not really their remit. So if the clerk gets in touch with me, I'll pass it on, we'll get somebody to get back to you on that.
Brilliant.
If that's okay.
Thank you. We should definitely be in touch pretty quickly.
I'm looking to start involvement in a thing at work about reintroducing water bowls, so I might get some contacts with that to get some things that we get a quote from.
Very good. Thank you, Kathy. Positive action not from here. The next next one is vermin on the mere representative. Have we discussed this already?
Well, apart from we need to set a date, don't we, for when we're clearing it, when we're clearing the hospital.
I've actually got a petition. I didn't fetch it because it's not on the agenda. So if it needs to go on the agenda, please, for next month, and I'll fetch the petition in. I said I would move them if the people of the village didn't ask for them to stay.
This is a democracy. We've already voted last month.
What? So 5 people say they go. The people have a say.
How many's on this petition?
Eh?
How many?
I haven't counted them yet. I've got quite a few.
Approximately.
Eh? I don't know. I've only had a few days doing it. I think I've got about 40.
Can we go back to, we need to set a date.
So can we have it on the agenda for next meeting, please, Alex?
Alex, can we set a date?
erase it.
Yeah,
I asked you to put it. I asked for it to go on this meeting.
We can raise it, for me, we can raise it for the meeting.
Well, I didn't fetch the petition or anything because
Why are we raising it?
it's a
We've
pro-
already voted to clear
Well,
it.
I'm not raising it.
Right. We need to set a date for when we're clearing from here, so we need to know how many people are
There is-
involved.
there is people that have signed the petition that they want them rocks to stay. I mean, the council paid for them rocks, and I did all that work, and I bought them slabs, and you're just going to rip it out. Why?
Because other people have complained that they've on.
This initially came because a
How
member
many's
of the public
complained?
complained.
How many's complained?
Somebody came around to our house and complained that they just spotted you unloading a load more slabs out of the back of the
There was about 6 little slabs and they're down in the corner.
But whatever. And
So
he,
if that
he
was an issue-
complained that you were putting yet more.
No, if that was an
Second-hand
issue,
slabs.
you could have just mentioned that.
We brought
Not
it up
that
at
you're
the next
ripping them all
meeting.
out. You know them. You were there when I put them on the slabs, and you actually helped me in with them. Yeah. They've been in there 5 years. You were the one that told me to put them in that corner. I spent hours doing that. The ducklings need them slabs.
But you were also at a meeting the month before where, again, democracy, we voted that nobody goes in the mere apart from the mere.
You can't tell people to stay out the... Right, so you're saying that you're worried about the children going on the slabs, but then you're saying nobody should be going in the water. Legally, you can't tell anyone to stay out the mere. No, you can't.
Because you can't, I'm sorry, you can't.
Just like you couldn't with the dog signs that you were trying to tell them all at the nunnings.
Excuse me if I can just speak for a minute. There's been people going in there for 20 odd years.
No, leave it, Harvey.
Yeah, but they don't know what they're talking about, Yvonne, I'm sorry.
They can't walk the dogs.
It's not democracy, that, at all.
Sorry.
They're not very democratic people.
I will have to ask you to leave.
Be a good idea.
Right, so we have a problem. So it was passed last month that the horse was supposed to be cleared, and now we have a public vote taking place. It was just retrospective after that vote, is it? Of volumes.
I've got, it's counted over 30, it's a petition. It is.
That's just the people that Yvonne's approached. That isn't fair representation of...
Well, it is. Because I'll get more. Because everybody says the same. They watch the ducklings on there.
If that's okay.
I mean, they were put on after all them ducks got run over. And that's when they were put on.
What's the ducks getting run over got to do?
Because they've got nowhere to go. They've got...
They're still sleeping in the road. It's something
In the road,
It's
there's something scared
as
them.
well.
The other
Yeah.
night, a few
But the
weeks ago, they
council
were
put them
in...
slabs in.
Will you stop shouting everyone down and let everybody else have a say?
Because
They were on the road about 2 weeks ago, and the reason they were on the road is because there was an otter in the pond. Even the
yes, the
swan
otter
was
does,
out on
yeah,
the
the
road.
otter does
They
send
go out on
them
the road because they either want
Yeah.
to be warm on the warm timer or because
The
they're
tarmac's
scared of
not
things
warm.
in the warm. Of course it is in
It
the summer.
isn't.
It is.
It isn't.
And they have
Now,
plenty of...
The
Yvonne,
swan,
they have plenty of places to come out of the water on the gardens around the mill.
Right.
They come on our garden every summer, you know, mothers with 10 ducklings. They come on all the
Yeah,
time.
the
They
swamp
don't
can get
need
them.
square bits of slabs.
Why
They're
don't you
a
put the
garden.
gate up to keep the swans
What's
away
that got
from
to
the
do with the
ducklings?
slabs?
The ducklings come at the front and it's a safe area. That's why the gate's on. You mention it in the minutes every year. We put in the gate up, protect the ducklings. So now you're taking all the duckling slabs.
Right, so to move this forward, ultimately, the horse wash was on the agenda last month, so it was publicly available for people to turn up and be involved with.
Yeah, but it wasn't clear what about the horse wash. It just said horse
Well,
wash.
there's only so much we can put on there at the same time. It was voted by the council to clear the horse wash, and what was suggested, so that was then voted as a council, they were going to clear it. What we haven't done is set a date.
But I've said they're my slabs, and if you put them in a skip, that's stealing, and it is. And you're the police officer.
How long have you stayed in on private property?
No, they're mine, and I have permission to put them in.
So, that's the first discussion is now later on. We do
Excuse me,
need
it
to
was
set.
5 years ago.
It was about 2 months ago you were seen putting them in.
Them few at the side. Them like what we're talking about. Been there 5 years.
Just because you say it doesn't mean it's right. You keep saying
People
things that
know
are
that.
not correct.
I've got pictures of them.
The man came
Phil,
round to my
how long?
house on the day that you were putting him in the horse wash.
The first one went
They might be.
about 5 years ago.
They might be, but others.
But the others-
Well, the others, I'll take them up myself. If that was a problem. This week. If that's the problem. But them that have been there for 5 years was permission.
So essentially,
Phil knew. You knew. The other ones, the council put in, Richard put in.
so
You asked me to move them to the other side, and I did.
Yvonne, it's been published publicly on the agenda last month. It was voted on by the parish council. The parish council agreed to do it. We do need to set a date for that.
What, to take them all out?
That's the process it's gone through. It's followed.
No, you were on about them that I've just put in.
People complained about how scruffy and horrible it looks. And that's why we voted on clearing it, putting it back to how it should be.
We absolutely
And then
nothing
we're
in.
paying for expert advice to talk to us about how we create an ecosystem that we can manage that's diverse and brings more wildlife in, that makes the area better for the whole village. And that's why we.
Well, that's what I've been trying to do for years.
No, all that's attracted is mallards, nothing else.
Right.
We need to attract other wildlife.
Right.
How are you going to do that?
Right, councillors, how about, being as we are in a position that we do not know anything about the ecology of the mere, and we're not in a position to be able to discuss the management of the wildlife on the mere, and I know that it's been voted, but what if the report comes back saying that we need somewhere for animals in the horse wash?
And we'll build something, we'll take our bite and we'll put in something that meets that need.
I think if we have the report and says what we need, then it could be a case of that stays as it is now, if that's sufficient, or
Yeah.
it can be changed, or we can build something else.
We'll make-
So
we'll
can't
make
we leave it
prettier.
until we've had the report?
That's one thing, but do we leave it till that? Because we,
No, we don't. We voted on it. People, it's not just about some people that are vocal. It's about people in the village that want to see.
yeah, and I
that
agree.
the area-
Excuse me, if you've had letters of
One second, sorry,
complaint,
but
where are they?
one second, sorry. I'm concerned personally that, and I know again, I wasn't here, but are we making a decision on the ecology management of that horse wash without knowing the details of what we need to do with it? Is that what we've just done last month?
Yeah.
And I know there are issues, I know people have issues with visuals of it and what it's trying to do. I get what everyone's trying to do with it, and I personally agree with it. I think it's great that we're trying to do that for wildlife. Visually, I think it could look better, it would be great
It
to
could
have
look,
something better.
look absolutely gorgeous on that front.
And I agree with you on that. But I don't know anything about it. So, is it, from my own personal perspective, and it is only me, not the chair, it is Alex, is it better to wait till we know?
What message does that send to the people of the village who said, this has gone too far? that it
No,
looks
that means you're being
What does it,
sensible.
or does it say that we're going to take an educated decision on it? That's only my perspective. It doesn't make it right. You can shout me down and tell me I'm talking rubbish. It's fine. That's only my thought, and it doesn't mean it's right.
The only point
That's being sensible.
The only point I can see about waiting is if you get close to spring, then it's going to be a bad time to do it. So if this report doesn't come in, then it's going to be this time next year. That's the only thing that's not getting shifted and sorted now. But if it's been there for 5 years, then does another year make that much difference?
No, it doesn't.
I don't know is the answer. But I would rather have some professional opinion on it. But if it is that,
Is that available through an East Riding job?
Let's just follow it through, because what they will do, or did a few years ago, is just give advice on the sort of things you look at. I mean, they're not experts to say, in Nafferton me, do A, B, C, D and E and give you a report. But they'll advise us the sort of things you should be looking at and some advice. Let's, from the East Riding spot, take it forward, see what they come up with and then decide from that point of view. I think. What they're not going to do is give you an ecology report for Nafferton here. But they will do the sort of things you should be looking at and the sort of people to approach too.
Seems a bit of a catch-22 with this.
Can we not just leave it for now? That would be the thing to do, just leave it until we know. They've been there 5 years. I'll take them out what I put in this week. There wasn't many. And if there's been complaints, where are the letters? I've not seen anything on correspondence. You know, you've said there's been complaints that I put some slabs in. Where's the correspondence? But didn't you say when I came to the meeting about somebody,
we're going around in circles.
It's supposed to go on the agenda.
You're not getting anywhere with the council. We're not going to regret it. We've got a set of councils that are following due process. We've got another set of councils that may be questioning it. Again, because I wasn't there, and I trust everybody that's on here. And at the moment, we're in a position where I don't feel that.
Well, why don't we just press the button with East Riding? That should be our quickest route, surely. We're telling it's an urgent matter.
Well, again, it depends, because I'm not sure if the councillor was confident they could do that level of detail, was it?
Yeah, let's,
Well, no, but the last advice is on what we need.
let's follow it up in the next
I
one.
mean, I don't think we can put too much in the horse wash anyway, because that's the main flow of water for the mere. That's why it's still lined and got the concrete.
Oh, there isn't too much. I mean, I will take out them new ones I put in.
Right, we will have to agree to set a date for that at a later. Okay, agenda item number 7, flooding and drainage report. Steve?
Yeah, just the usual places, you know, the gates are white mat, still the grip all still haven't been cleaned out. That's still on when I get down far like everyone's in it. So I know Mr. Jewers was supposed to do what he was supposed to do, move things on, but still the same.
Complicate on to navigate that once drains cleaning out as well, because they're all full of sand after the big oil spill.
Oh, the last one.
Yeah, 2.5 tons of sand they put down.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
No, the walls went in.
Charlie, looking at it.
Chairman, on that one, has Charlie got back to you?
Sorry, councillors.
Has Charlie Dewars got back to you at all? He was hoping to get hold of me before I came tonight. I haven't spoken to him because he's away. But I'll chase it up for you.
Yeah, he's chasing again.
Yeah, leave it with me and I'll liaise with Charlie and get back to you in the next couple of days.
The elections took place and it kind of...
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's not a new problem in my mind.
Okay, we're going to agenda item number 8, planning. So we have had an application for the erection of conservatory to the rear on 3 Priest Gate, Nafferton, from Mr. Marshall. Has anybody got any observations? objections or? No. No, okay. The next one that we have had is an application for the construction of dormer and installation of dormers and installation of replacement door to front, construction of dormer with balcony to rear, and application of replacement render and construction of pitch roof over existing flat roof, which is an amended description plan. And that is for 27 Navigate Nafferton from Mr. Bedford. Any observations?
It's not going to bother anybody.
No.
The next one is the application for an erection of a single-storey extension to the side and rear following demolition of a conservatory to the rear and side of dwelling from 17 Westgate, Nafferton, from Mr. L. Flack. Hasn't that been through already?
Some of them.
He's had an extension at the back of the workshop, hasn't he?
Mm.
Westgate, don't you?
Westgate, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I know.
it's sun's out.
Oh, I know, reply for it, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was. Yeah. Sorry, any observations on that one?
No, it won't bother anybody either.
Okay. The next one is for the erection of a linked egg packing and storage building in connection with approved free-range egg unit from application number 21/02255/STPLF, and that is land south of Driffield Road, Nafferton, from Mr. Rick Dewhurst for full planning.
That's already built.
We have a non-pecuniary interest from, that's a bingo card, non-pecuniary interest from Margaret Buckton.
It's already up, mate.
It's only the shed that's in between, isn't it?
Is it already up?
Next to it.
The one a little bit at the end, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I wonder if I will get this one. So, Nafferton Conservation Area, another tree. So fell one number holly tree, fell one number, oh, come on.
It's just, can we remove our forest?
Rothschildianus, thank you. Fell one number, oh, Cotyleaster, and fell number one conifer. From Sandhouse 9 North Street, Nafferton, from Mr. David Hara. I think the usual observations, there's a lot of trees coming out.
Yeah. We're supposed to get an arborist report to say that they are doing.
Agree with the next one. I mean, the next one says all these trees are taken out because they're obstructing things that were built after the trees were planted in the time. So you build something next to a tree and then later on say the tree's in the way.
Yeah, it's really, for me, it's really uncomfortable. It's all these trees coming out.
If you look back over the last 10 or 20 years, there must be hundreds of trees being taken down in the village. But we were supposed to be planting trees in the village. Wasn't there an initiative
Has
to
anyone
plant
been
more
on-
trees?
Has anyone accessed the planning to see the arborist report?
No, I can't.
Was it? I tried.
It's a nightmare to get on.
I didn't have time to sit and wait for it to load.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, we have asked for somebody from the tree section to talk to the valleys, because we're having tons of trees removed.
This is every month we have 10 or, half a dozen, 10 trees removed, and some of the reasons, I mean, it's just because they don't like the look of them and they just take them down. Surely,
I'm no expert, but if there isn't a TPO on them, then you can't do much about it. And the council,
what's the conservation area about?
I don't know its answer. I'll find
We
it.
have asked you to explain to us about the decisions, because in Hull, they won't let them have planning if there's a tree, even if there isn't a TPO.
Sally, what's the tree officer think? The tree officer, what does the tree officer think? I think
Trying to speak to council.
Oh, I am sorry, it's just that lady was trying to ask me a question.
And they do put objections in to planning, even if there isn't a TPO.
Yeah.
It's like,
The answer is hands up, I don't really know, but that's...
no, it's just
Again,
about
it's
we're not
full.
getting anything back from them.
Okay.
We've asked.
We've asked for the
Every month when
reason.
this comes up, we've asked and nothing comes back.
Well, it's a straightforward question then, you know, in a conservation area, what protection do trees have? And, you know, if people want to do something about it, so, again, if Anne just wants to email me that question, I'll pass it on and get it responded to.
So we're like not children at school then. I'm sorry, we're discussing matters on that.
So I say, if Anne emails me and says, well, I find out what protection are there on trees in conservation areas, what action needs, can or can't be taken, then I'll get a response back to you.
It does feel just like it's a bit of a bureaucratic process at the moment. You do what you want with it as long as you apply to do it. So,
it's the same in another village because they've got the village hall and there's a great tree outside and it's on their land, but they said, what can we do about it? Because it's undermining the foundations of the village hall. You know.
That's fair enough. Yeah, some of the reasons that are given they're not because they're kind of buildings or.
So in relation to this application, councillors, any observations that you would like to make about that?
Yeah, just tell them no.
Yeah?
Objection?
Tell them no.
Don't give them
Well,
Is there anybody that goes around and looks at the trees to see?
Yes, an arborist is meant to go around. So you've got 20 trees in your garden, you pay for an arborist, and part of that fee will be that they will put the planning permission if it is a conservation area. So they will write the reason behind why it should be felled.
It's difficult for us to put a reason in when we don't know what we're reasoning behind.
See, the next one says you could write a thing in that, but that one's there.
Only if it's on the
We need, if we're going to say no then to this and the next one, which we've not discussed yet, we do need to have a reason why. There we are. Okay, and then the next one, again, Nafferton Conservation Area tree works remove one unknown species, which is too close to a stable. 3, 6, elder too close to a fence, and houses built since planted. Okay. 2, 4 and 5, damson sitting on fencing very unsafely leaning onto the driveway. 7, unknown, too close to fence and houses built since planted. 8, conifer, which is dead. 9, fir, too close to fence and houses built since planting. 10, damson trunk rotten, dying off and close to houses built since planting. 11, 16 and 17, elder. 12, elder, too close to the stable. 13, self-seeding sycamore, too close to the stable. 14, fir is dead. 15, conifer, too close to the stable. Trees number 2 to 7 will be replaced with ornamental cherry blossom trees, and that's for West Beck to Nedgate, Nafferton, East Side of Yorkshire. David Wilson.
Yeah.
Non-peculiar interest from Councillor Wildridge.
I mean, the ornamental cherry blossom trees are not going to have the same environmental impact as the trees that we're taking out.
I mean, there's how many trees have out there?
15.
15 trees.
That's
by 2.
That's more or less the whole garden.
I mean, I think 3 are dead, but those that say that too close to a fence and buildings that are being built, Steve, the trees were like this, why were they allowed to build? Why were they allowed to build so close to the church?
Okay.
If that's the case.
So I think it's ecology here, environmental concerns. The next ones we have have been granted planning permission, so it's not a debate, it's been through before. So variation of condition 5, soft landscaping, and condition 7, approved plans, planning permission 220326 DLF, erection of a slurry store with cover to allow increase in diameter and side section of slurry store, and change the colour of the roof membrane, and alterations to soft landscaping or land northwest of Green Dykes Lane Junction, Nafferton, has been, from Harrison Farms at Culham, has been granted. And the next one that has been granted is the change of use of part of the ground floor from residential from C3 category to cafe, which is E category, with outdoor seating area. So a cafe with outdoor seating area at 2 North Street, Nafferton, for Mr. and Mrs. Lurthorpe. That has been granted. Interesting. We may have a cafe coming. Okay, that is agenda number. I'm wearing my teeth for a couple. Agenda agenda item number 8 completed, which brings on to agenda item number 9, correspondence. And we have we would like to invite 2 members from your town or parish council to the Manchester Camerata featuring Jess Gillen concert on Sunday the 24th of September 23 at 3 p.m. at Bridgerton Spa. To reserve your free tickets, please email arts.development@eastriding.gov.uk. In your email, please state the name of the parish and town and parish. I say parish, it's a combination of words. Town and parish council who will be attending the concert. We look forward to seeing you there. If anyone is interested, it is here. You can have a cruise at your own leisure, and please let Anne know. It looks a superb event, but I am busy, I'm afraid, on that day, otherwise I would have wholeheartedly gone to it. Number 9, correspondence. We have also had.
We've done the speed one.
No, it was the email from the 10th September.
I didn't do that.
Wait,
It's not on the agenda.
Oh, okay, we're on the not agenda.
No.
Okay, so we have a message from Operations Manager of Waste, Wayne Benrose at East Riding of Yorkshire Council regarding litter bin at Nafferton. And this, I've got no pecuniary interest. Sorry, Kathy, can you read that one out?
It's so we had from is it from?
Wayne Benrose.
Right. Could you please reassess the need for a litter bin on the Dunnings through the cut to the new part of West End Falls? We have received a number of requests for a bin in the area, mainly to try and alleviate the problem of dog dirt. Have we had a response? No?
It's a negative on this, I'm afraid. That, I will read
All right. I will revisit the site myself with regards to the siting of the bin, and if I agreed to the request, we would install once payment is approved by yourselves. You will probably be aware that the cost to purchase and install the new litter bin is currently £575.98. This cost has to be borne by the parish or town council, as our limited budget is only for the repair and maintenance of existing stock. So he's going to let you know.
He hasn't let me know, but I think the parish council would have to pay for it anyway, even if he agreed to it, or the parish council would agree to bins. Because it's not being precepted for.
But we could precept it for next year. So if he comes back, and if he says yes you can, but you have to pay for it, then we could put it in the precept and vote on it as part of the precept. How does that sound?
When does it come in then? Has he said a date or time scale or anything?
No. So if you go back to him and say, if he would support it, we'll discuss it as part of our precept.
Thank you, Kathy. And that is it for correspondence, which brings on to agenda item number 10, the Nunnings. I definitely declare a non-pecuniary interest. And on top of that, I'm the
Just true about the planting of the hedges.
Yes.
No, you don't have to.
We just need to decide on what hedging we're putting in as we come into winter. We've agreed that we put the hedging in to make it a shared space. So it's just about getting some quotes to see what we need. I don't mind getting quotes if somebody tells me what sort of things we're looking for. And I'll measure it and I'll get the quotes for the signs as well. So say we put the signs up, saying it's, you know, shared space and for everybody to respect each other. So it's just about what am I looking for quotes for it. Go ahead. Yeah.
It needs to be something that's done next slow growing, so
Well, we talked
it's not a high
about Portuguese law, but they're slow.
are they only look? Are they just,
They're as low as you keep them. They aren't like ordinary water, they're a lot slower growing.
those are smaller leaf?
But what sort of spacing could?
They'll advise you
Oh,
on that.
right. So if I just say this is what I want.
All you'll need to
this
give them is a
what I want.
meterage, lineage meters, and they'll tell you how many you need.
And any names that I can contact?
White mature plants.
Okay.
Well, in all fairness,
Mature plant.
I'm fairly sure, I mean, we won't need them while winter. I'm sure between us we can just plant them, so you just literally dig a hole and put it
I was thinking
Well,
that's
in. Because they'll all be bare rooted, you buy them in winter and bare rooted.
I was thinking we could ask
Are you allowed to say?
the what
Sorry.
get involved.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we've actually put a hawthorn hedge in ours, and we have got a lot of support from Reeton Garden Centre. Also, as a Driffield show as well, I picked up a leaflet from some people who do hedging for areas, and they mentioned about where I live, and I said this is what the council's going to do. And they said if I handed the leaflet to you, you might be able to get support and maybe money from them, which I'll give that, if I find it out, I'll give that tomorrow. But we put hawthorn in, and it's grown grown quite quickly. It's grown to quite a nice hedge as well.
But hawthorn gets out of we
I mean, the native hedge is lovely, but it's just
Right.
whether we can do, you know, Ross to keep up with
Right.
the growth, that's the only problem.
Yeah. But we definitely, we're very keen on getting involved. Because
Yeah.
obviously, we
Well, I
live
mean,
down there. We are
sort
very
of prices
keen.
to keep it local. I mean, if you have a word with Winhill, Eagles
Okay.
thousands of bare ruby
Where's it?
on the Wansford to Driffield.
Oh.
But Eagles thousands of bare ruby edging plants.
Yeah.
And
So I'll see if I can get because I'll need the 3 quote.
Well, it won't be over.
It won't be.
Oh, no, it won't be on it. No, sorry. I'll just
So
get the
Simon,
one.
you're proposing Portuguese law?
yeah, I think it'd be as good as anything. I mean, it's sort of evergreen and it's fairly easy to maintain.
Is it just going to go around the outside then? Or
Yeah.
haven't you decided whereabouts
I
it's
think we're just
going?
going up the 2 sides, weren't we?
Yeah, there is only 2 sides left, isn't
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Just leave
Yeah.
a gap somewhere, but sort of fence around the hedge around the corner so
Yeah.
people don't cut the corner, just make an access. And
Yeah, to make it more.
something like
Mm.
that, yeah.
But I don't think there's been any
Sorry,
complaints.
no, all in favour?
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else is just be quick and then it's keep on top of it.
Right, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Whereas, I mean, if it's evergreen, you know, birds will go in it. There won't be the feed value on it, but it's.
Well, it's putting some greenery back there, isn't it? Which is
If you
much.
start planting natives, you get all your dog roses and things like that, and just kids will be up with them, and they just,
That's
you
it.
can't keep on top of them. They grow so fast.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, it might be something else if somebody else finds something other varieties, but we just don't want anything what we're going to have to like prune 3 and 4 times a year.
Right, I see, yeah.
And the laurel's fairly woody as well, so kids can't sort of smash it, bounce on it. Once it gets going, it's usually quite good.
So it's
quite
not the
smooth.
same as the laurel that's around the boiling, is it?
No,
That gets
Right,
ridiculous, doesn't it?
we don't want any of that.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Shall we tell her if we can come back in? I'll leave it
No.
out there.
No, there you go.
Yeah, we're going to leave it out there.
Okay, which brings us, I assume, on to agenda item number 11, Parish Council vacancy. So we have now had the approval from the Electoral Services Assistant, Jean Thompson, saying, as promised, I am writing to confirm that the request to fill the above vacancy by the way of an election has not been received within the prescribed time period. You may therefore now fill this vacancy by co-option. And that notice also went out on our Facebook page and the website. Of course, it did. Sorry, Nick.
The application's by the 29th of September.
There you are. Any applications by the 29th of September. Which brings us on to committee reports. Agenda item number 12, Village Hall.
No.
Fefi?
No.
Playground?
Yeah, they put one sign up on the gate and the other signs in the clubhouse, but we need help moving the posts from the old sign to the front of the park. Because we're not putting it on the old, it's in the middle, isn't it? And also that like you said was missing on the thing. I've got another D-lock, I'll do that this week.
Okay.
That's the second time it's gone missing from there, someone's taken them off.
It's not snapped, the chain's still there.
No, the D-lock's gone.
Yes, somebody's taken it, it's not,
Yeah.
not broken.
Off the rocking thing.
That's the third,
I think so.
that's the third one.
Yeah, I thought it was come loose, but I looked for Grantham again,
No.
somebody's taken it.
Yeah, somebody's unscrewing them, taking them. So. We might have to get some Loctite and Loctite
Yeah,
one.
it's just what that is.
But I've got one anyway, so.
Have we got materials we need for the post? There's a bit of post creep.
No, it's that one. It's we only need a bit of that post. It's mainly, I mean, putting them in is not a problem, it's digging the old ones out.
Do you want to set a date for that? Because I'll volunteer.
Yeah, whenever you got some time, whenever you want. That's exactly it.
I've only got weekends.
But yeah, I mean, they're not, I don't think they're going to take much getting out because they're already rocky, you know. I think once we take the sign off, they'll probably nail it.
Is it the ones as you go into the park on the right?
Thursday.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
I can't remember this for Thursday night, I'm working for it.
Yeah.
I can't make Thursday for it.
Those are
We can go.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah. So I'll take the old sign off to start with, and which you need to come off anyway, because it's rocky. And I think once the sign is off, we'll be able to rock and put it to dig it out, and then not.
We also need to look in the small playground at that rubber. It's a real hazard now.
Has that resin that we got gone off, or is it still?
We only have that left.
We only need a bit around edge, because I've pulled it back, and the main problem is that soil's washed underneath, and it's holding it up, so we're going to have to pull it back and dig it all out, and then put some resin, and that's fine crumble stuff, you know, to hold it
I
down.
would have thought that resin would have gone off.
Where are you going to put it?
Garage behind.
I don't know, see if it's still. It might not have done if it's out.
Behind the old brick.
So I think then if you think it's getting dangerous, that we ought to propose to buy some more stuff to get sorted if this is it.
There has been one child tripped up in there.
Right, okay. That's the case. I have no idea how much it costs, but would £200-300?
What did we spend last time at
Yeah,
Dillon?
that's what I mean. With loads of rubber, it was just the resin, because they didn't send the resin.
But the resin's quite expensive from memory.
Well, we weren't going to get resin, because we said we were going to look at resin in all the pedals on it to stop. So,
Down there.
Okay,
But we'll have to
I'm
explain
going to make a proposal that we buy
some more resin.
some more resin to the value of up to £400 to make sure that it's safe in the playground for the users.
The second one, please. Right, all in favour?
Safe, just get on with it, it's good done. Do we need, is it dangerous, do we need to isolate it off or cordon off or anything?
Well, where this little last trip, she actually landed on the batting, so, and that's the only place to go not land when you trip on it, is actually on the rubber. So at the moment, it's an alert situation.
So we'll probably have to isolate it off, because when we stick it down, we'll probably have to somehow staple it down to keep it down while it sticks, you know. Because it's sort of got curvy, it's trying to force its way up on that.
Can we have a look at it in the meantime to make sure there's
Yeah, when we contact when we have, we do the posts, we'll assess.
Thank you for that, first of all, I know how much time that playground takes. So thank you, it is appreciated, thank you. Anything else on the playground?
Well, only that we had a complaint with one of the posts on the fence
Oh yes, of
It's
course.
nice, it's nice, it's just loose, the original fence won't put in right,
Oh, I know them.
it's very shallow in the ground, but Ross is going to put a strengthening post in, and there's one of the rails is gone rotten, is going to put a bracing piece across. Me and Ross went there, I would have gone Friday. He's got it on his list, but he's got a big list. So.
Could I raise, sorry, this is me not remembering the minutes, because of course I've read them. Last month I was contacted by a member of the public about a gate on the, do you know where the old emergency access is at this end? And then the boards to be replaced with the missing fence. Was that discussed last month? I can't remember.
No, I think it was a lady who said she had a stable child.
Is that the daughter is a rubber
we
bit?
put a gate on to lock them
Yeah.
in, but we can't do that. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it.
So that, I don't know if it was raised, or if not, I'll raise it now. So it was requested by a member of the public that her daughter has a need that she may escape from the playground because it's her needs. And could we consider putting a gate on the top part of the playground and then replacing the balls that are missing, the three floor balls from memory?
But if you put a gate on, people will be up and running.
I mean, I think the question was, did it ever have a gate there?
No.
My response to that
No.
was, it's never had a gate there.
No, what happened was, there's the big gates for access by vehicles, and at the side, there was a piece of mesh. But so, because nobody could get in at that side, and they weren't going to walk all the way around to get in the little play park, they pulled the balls off and brought through. That's why the balls were missing, because they were pulling balls off. So we took that panel out so people could just walk into the park, because there was no gate.
And that's fine. Does it need to have a gate?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, so
if you have a gate, what are you going to do? Lock it? Because if it's open, it's not a gate.
okay, so to follow it through then, as a member of the council, member of the public has asked for this to the council, is it a wish, yes or no, that we put a gate on that part of the playground?
I'm sure we discussed it last time.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I remember
Oh, so it's happened already, right? Sorry, that's me. I'll be quiet then. It's been through.
I mean, I understand the problem for everybody else.
Okay.
We opened it up so people could actually get into it, because before they couldn't, and they were pulling pieces of fence off to get into it.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you everyone for bringing up speed. Nick, the web.
Yeah, not a lot. A couple of patches and stuff to renew. I've also been putting some with the posts up for as well this last month. And we've had the renewal of the Office 365 as well that's happened this last month, but that's free. Microsoft does that.
I'm having an issue when I email Anne. It's rejected every time. Not personally, it's just getting rejected by Microsoft. It's not I'm saying no, I'm not interested.
I'm having an issue as well when you send me all that stuff. It won't let me in.
And we this new email, I mean,
I've never tried it.
It won't let me in. It's a security thing you've got on, and it just will not let me in. It just says your group is asking for more security.
Yes, you need to keep the account secure using multi-factor authentication.
Yeah, but it won't take. I can't remember what it tells you to do, but then it just rejects everything. It won't let me in. I give up. I ended up actually crashing my Windows account, so it won't get on for 2 days. It won't.
I don't think that's related, to be honest, in my experience. That's never
Well,
seen that
yeah,
before.
because it just come on that I've been trying to do something illegal or whatever, and I'm thinking I'm only trying to get up here.
Yeah.
So I can't get on.
I don't know what to suggest. I mean, I can't fix it now. Maybe next week's meeting, again, I can hold a direct meeting.
The training meeting.
The training meeting beforehand,
So
yeah.
if I bring the laptop.
Yeah, everybody bring your stuff now. So you know.
Right.
Oh,
you don't realise I'm not there, what? Does it work?
All right, lovely. Thank you very much. So, CCTV quote for Jubilee Park.
Yeah, it's all ordered. Got an order for CCTV for the cameras and everything. So.
I think we might have somebody from the Police Crime Commissioner coming.
Oh, very good.
It's very, no. sure exactly what, but we might get up to 5k.
I would
So,
do it.
Is it for this sort of thing as well?
yeah, it's got to be on the CCTV.
Well, she applied for two, didn't she? She applied
Yeah,
for
applied
one
for
for
that.
the new doors on the clubhouse for security, which got turned down. But CCTV is...
So we can watch people breaking in.
Yeah, we can watch people breaking in. So it looks like we've got 5k,
5,000.
but it takes a lot to get it. It's quite a long process. And then, like I say, they've said we've been shortlisted, and I've had to sign the funding agreement, and I've had to sign the bank details. So whether that means we've been shortlisted and we're getting money once I've filled the forms in is unclear. But we have to spend it on CCTV. So we might get, so we can improve the system. So hopefully,
So if we don't do what you were going to do yet until we make sure we've got the funding, it might change.
Yeah, the original one is for the new camera to go on the end of the garage to protect down there, which was the high powered one, and put that camera to cover the tennis courts. Then Gordon, he was going to put one on the lamppost in the little park, and also another one at that end to do with the ball club to cover that clubhouse area. But we've only got one more space on the server here, which would be suffice for a new one. So we thought we would need another unit.
So how much is all that likely to? Will we be able to
Five
spend it?
Waiting for
Will we
it,
be able to spend it?
it's that might cover it. So we could keep both systems. So we could keep both systems separate. So there'd be a CC for the horizon computing.
the other thing that we could consider as well is that we didn't know we were getting the 5k, so I've got that as an addition, so we could grant money we were going to pay for the CCTV to the clubhouse to pay for new doors and windows.
Oh, I like it.
Let's wait till
Yeah, so if we get, but just for people to think about rather than coming to the meeting hall.
It is the money coming to the parish council and not the rec.
Yes, parish council.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Oh, well, wow. Well, fantastic.
Another 5k, hopefully getting books.
Wow. Jubilee Play Park inspection charge for 2024 was £150 plus the VAT. Kathy?
It's on the list of trying to find another company to do it. I don't have time.
Okay, thank you. E55 Jubilee Park fence completion, Councillor Aldridge.
It's just needs back filling, but I think we should just leave it for the time being because the man's not very well.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Do you want me to leave it on the agenda?
Well, I mean, it's what's doing. I don't know. As I say, I mean, I'm not going to be able to do it, so but we can't leave it as it is. But at the moment, he's not very well at all. So I think we just they won't want anybody around. So I think we just nothing else has been said. So I think we just leave it. If we take it off, we'll forget about it.
Yeah, I'll leave it on.
Okay. Thank you, Simon. Which brings on to agenda item number 13, village maintenance, which is the Station Road telephone kiosk.
Yeah, I've got photographs now. We're doing it like a pre-planning thing.
Okay.
Kiosk, is it going to be moved to Jubilee Gardens?
If we get planning permission.
Yeah, what I'm worried about is, do you think maybe it might just be the kids will go in and then the books end up in the mere? Because, you know, it's like the Christmas tree, the baubles end up in the mere. If anybody leaves anything on that bench, it ends up in the mere. Even somebody left a scooter, it ends up in the mere. I'm just a bit worried that, you know, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but if you start throwing the books in.
Is it? And I think you're right. I think you will end up in it personally. I think not.
You know, just open the door, grab a book. So, I don't know why, but kids seem to think it's funny throwing things in the mirror.
Is the post box at the top of the village used for the same thing?
Yes. Yeah.
So the both are used. So we have no to do with it, do we?
I mean, it would look
It
nice
is a concern,
there.
isn't it?
Yeah, it would look nice there, but that's all I'm thinking, because I just know every day. I'm fishing something out of the mere. There's all sorts goes in the mere. Kids just pick. I told you before that somebody left some socks there, and I left them because I knew the little kiddie, and he never come back for them. They were there 3 days, and then somebody threw them in the mere. Whatever's round the side, people leave things on the bench, and I leave them there, and they just pick them up and throw them in the mere.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I do share that concern.
The baubles off the Christmas tree. That year they were all in the mere.
I don't know what the outcome to suggest or what the outcome is. I'm not very concerned about what happens if they don't. If they do, I don't know.
Well, is it expensive to move it if they do?
Well, I think it's more of a case of if they do start doing it, then they'll put a stop to using it for that.
We don't try that to see.
Yeah, it's one of them. I share your concern, genuinely.
Yeah.
But let's give it a go, and then if it doesn't work out something, then we might have to make a bit of a tough decision at that time. Then
okay.
Is it worth having the books in there if the good ends up being it? But I really do shake concern.
Well, I think we're letting it bother the bush shelter, aren't we? I mean, there's more people spend time at the bush shelter than anywhere else. I think we just
kids knock about there anyway.
We just go with it, don't you?
Yeah, well, I suppose let's just see what happens. If they do, then we might have to make a decision. It only goes to the top one then, because we can't.
We might get somebody to run it and walk it.
Yeah.
On an evening or something like that.
Okay, thank you, Yvonne.
Well, I can do that.
There is that, yeah,
I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
So I can lock it on an evening.
Well, I don't know if it's got one, but
yeah.
I've no idea, but there is that potential.
Yeah, no, I can do that if it's on the front. You know, if it's on the garden. Because I'm down there all the time,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I don't know if it's got a lock, and if it has, I can go.
Well, no, we have to keep it a lock, don't we? It hasn't got a lock, but I mean, if we think it's going to be an issue, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, that's
brilliant.
alright. If it's an issue, we can do that.
Let's move on from that one then, which brings on to agenda item number 14, accounts. So, they are somewhere. So, Ross is beautiful. Beautifully detailed, what is it? Invoice, sorry, has arrived, totaling £674.18 inclusive for August, which is considering the amount of grass to go in there, but it's not bad actually. We've had Phoenix Accounting and Business Consultancy for payroll of £30, including VAT. Caroline's wages are from for August of £476.38. And as you pay HMRC quarterly, there is a payment of £561.17 due this month as well. What's that for? Just tax.
From the external auditor.
Yeah, let's mention our report. Those audits, the external audits have been on the website, on the finance section, so we can.
Thank you, Nick. So this one's from PFK, our external auditor. For professional services rendered in connection with the following: so limited assurance review of annual governance and accountability return for year ending 31st of March 2023, for a total amount payable of £504, which includes the VAT.
The accounts for the year ending the 31st of March, that's what that relates to. There was no matters arising, so. Thank you.
All in report. And that is that, and the end of the meeting. So the meeting is now closed at 20:52. Thank you all.